Okay, hello and welcome to this water pedals tutorial for Vray. Really easy. I think it's a really easy tutorial and easy to follow along. Water pedals, I don't know why so many people have struggling with it, because I think it's a really easy method that you can use to create these water pedals. So first of all, let's just simply create a plane. 400 by 400 is just fine. And just load any kind of floor texture. I will use real displacement textures from Chris Schindler, which used to be a friend of mine back in the days, which is, we used to hang out, which is kind of funny. And now he's also into 3D like me and is creating some awesome displacement textures for the community. Of course, not for free, but yeah, they're really good. I mean, he has some huge clients like NPC and Pixar and so on and so on. So I guess his maps are not that bad. I think this is really fun, and that I used to hang out with that guy years ago, and now he's creating all that stuff. Anyway, so here we have this, yeah, let me just switch this here to garage shading mode. And let me also switch here in the Vray material. If you go here to options, we can, the map preview size, we can make this bigger, so we can see this here a little bit better, how it does look. Let's make it really 4K. I mean, 4K might be a little bit too much. This would really take up a lot on a graphic card. Also, Cinema 4D just doesn't really seem to like it, but as you can see now, it looks really smooth in the preview. Let's maybe just go with 1024, but 1024s might be good enough. Yes. Okay, and let's switch here to Vray, of course, Vray Bridge. Let's just tick on GI. We don't need to load any preset. This we can leave as well, and we will just bring in an HDRI quickly. So create light, area light, right click, Vray light tag, enable shadows, area light, and then, I mean, I have done this so many times here that I'm already getting bored a little bit when I'm doing this stuff, because I don't know how often I created an dome light here. Okay, and we tick on spherical dome, use texture, and then we go load image. And we will just simply search for a quick HDRI here. And yeah, let's take this river road here. You can use any HDRI that you like, doesn't really matter for this tutorial purpose. I'm not sure if purpose is even the right word here. I hope it is. Okay, so let's make a quick test render. As you can see, we're just simply getting our floor map here, and that's basically it. And also the HDRI has here some kind of floor, so we have a floor on a floor basically, which looks kind of funny. Okay, anyway, the second thing we want to do is we just simply want to create here another advanced material, and this advanced material will be our water. So we call this here floor first of all. So let's call this floor, and then we will call this one water. So let's go water. And we will tick off the diffuse layer, tick on specular and refraction in both 1.33, because this would be the right value for water. So let's do this like this, and we should be fine, ready to go. Okay, so now we need to define where we want to have those water pedals on this floor map. And what you can do is just simply paint your own map in Photoshop. So you just go File, New, make maybe a 4K map or something like that. So 4096 by 4096, so 4K square. And then just simply grab here the pencil, get some kind of smooth, I don't know, thing here, 291 pixels, and then you just simply start to drag out the water pedals where you want to have them, and so on and so on. If you have an UV unwrap, you can, from this thing that we created in Cinema 4D, you can even be more precise inside of Photoshop. But yeah, I already created one, so here it is, here on my desktop, so we will be using this one. And what we can do now is just simply create a blend material. So, blend material. I'm just thinking if there is a different way maybe inside of Vray, or if we really need to use the blend material. I mean, I'm not 100% sure right now. Doesn't matter. Let's just simply use the blend material. That's for sure working. So as a base material, we're using our floor, and as a coat material, we're using our water. So let's tick this on here as well, and let's drop here our blend material onto the plane. And as you can see, we will probably only see now, I mean, we will see the floor as well, but we will see it really, really high reflective because there's water over it. So, okay, we can't even really see our floor. So what we can do to get this is just simply we're using the alpha channel here in the water. So let's go load image. And then we go desktop and using our pedal texture that we created. And if you render this now, we should only have the water where we have the black spots, as you can see. And everywhere else we still should have our floor. Looks kind of weird right now, a little bit. This is because of the HDRI rotation. So let me rotate this HDRI here a little bit around. Maybe like this, so we're getting a little bit of different reflections here. Okay, still the floor is reflecting. Let me move this like this. I just want to have some nice reflections in the water pedals. Nah, still looks kind of crazy. Here, I don't like this. Maybe it would be better off with the IPR, but I'm still not trusting the IPR of Vray yet, because sometimes you're just simply getting this yellow output and nobody knows why, which is kind of nice. So they finally brought out 3.4 and it's still not working okay, which I really, really adore. I'm not sure what they're exactly doing. So yeah, we just simply have to use the normal standard renderer here. Let me put this up here a little bit. Just want to find a nice reflection here. Still the floor. Are you kidding me? Why is this not working? Come on. Be nice. Be nice to me. Still not working. Still getting the floor reflections. And still. Okay. Let's go. Just simply doesn't mean that it's... Yeah. I'm not... I really hate that. I need to bring this map up here a little bit. Okay. Now we're getting some different reflections. Okay, that's good. Now we can see the trees a little bit in here. So let's just simply type in those values when you have them. Of course, we can also see through the floor a little bit. So what we need to do is we need to extrude this plane, of course, a little bit. So let's go extrude. Make sure the create caps is ticked on. And let's bring this down here. Or let's maybe bring it up. And let's see it again. Yeah, okay, now we're not getting so many reflections here. Let's maybe rotate this HDRI a little bit backwards, maybe something like that. Let's see what we get. Yeah, okay, now we have at least some reflections here, some bushes and stuff like that. So the thing is, we don't have really much depth here right now. And water puddles would probably only exist if the floor has some kind of holes and stuff like that, where really the water can fill up and yeah, run into those holes. So what we can do is just simply we give this water here some kind of bump. So we're using the exact same map that we used here in the alpha, so that the holes are exactly created where we have our water pedals, of course. So let's just simply try that. Yeah, we're already getting some nice bump here, as you can see. It's still a little bit noisy, needs to clean up here. We will take a little bit of time. And we could increase this bump here even to 10 centimeters or something like that, so we can see a little bit better what's going on. So let's just simply try and do this. So with 10 centimeters this would be even more. So yeah, now we're really starting to getting those water pedals. Of course, the reflection still doesn't look too good, so we need to play with the HDRI a little bit more, but for this tutorial it should be okay. What I would prefer here in this case is that we use displacement. So we have here the bump slot free for something else. So let's just simply create a displacement material. And let's copy over here what we used in a bump over to the displacement. And let's go paste shader. And let's get rid here of the bump texture in the water. And let's drop the displacement in front of this material. Otherwise, displacement is not working most of the time. So displacement always needs to be in the first place. And let's see what we get. And if the displacement is kind of working, at least I hope so. I mean, 1 centimeter is not really much, so I think we can up this here. Let's maybe go a little bit crazy. Let's go nuts and make it 10 centimeters. Yeah, we are completely crazy. We are escalating now and bringing it to 10 centimeters. Oh my freaking god. So yeah, as you can see, this is really working and looking good. So we're getting some really, really nice holes. I mean, of course, a little bit too big. So I think a value of 3 centimeters might be just fine. So we're getting a little bit something, but not too much. And then what we could do to give this maybe even a little bit more of a realistic feel. I mean, of course, if you have a completely nice day and there is no wind going on, no rain whatsoever, the water might look like that, so completely still. But if you have a windy day and something like that, you might want to use a little bit of a noise here in the bump channel of the water. So this is why I got rid here of the texture and use this placement. So we have this bump slot here free. And then we just simply load a noise. Simply cinema for denoise. And let's maybe go back here with the amount to something like, I don't know, 1 centimeter. Might be just fine for this bump. And then we can look if the water gets here some kind of ripple effect, you know. And as you can see, this is already working. So this water doesn't look so still anymore. It looks like a little bit moving with a little bit some kind of waves. Might not look perfect yet. So we can maybe even bring this down here to something like 0.5 or 0.3. And then we could also, of course, play here with the noise a little bit, make it a little bit smaller, scale it, maybe use a different noise to really get this water effect that we desire. To make it look a little bit more realistic. But this is one method to make this water look a little bit cooler. Let's maybe make this bigger. Let's maybe make this 150% in global scale. This might give us a little bit of a better water effect. Yeah. So it's not completely still anymore. It looks a little bit like moving. Now we would need to play with the HDRI a little bit more so we're getting better reflections in the water pedals. What we also could do if you don't want to have a white water, you can also here in the refraction layer make this kind of a dark green, so like some really, really dirty water or something like that. Let's maybe go with some kind of that color maybe. So we're getting a little bit of a different look of our water as well if we want to. I mean, probably not sticking out so much in this scene that the water is really dirty because of the lighting and stuff like that. But overall, I think this is a pretty good method. You could also do this with SSS if you want to, but I think this is a pretty fast method and it will render pretty fast and it also looks absolutely realistic. And this little bump trick here, I would definitely use to add a little bit more realism and a little bit more, I don't know, just simply so that a little bit more is going on in the scene and not so that the water is completely still. So I think with this noise trick, you can make really also realistic water pedals. Just simply play with the noise, different noises and different amounts here. Maybe 0.3 is too much or too less. Just simply play around. Okay, so this was, like I said, a really simple method how you can create water pedals inside of Vray. I use this method on my own. So yeah, if you have any more questions, please just simply ask me in the forum and I will try to answer them as quickly as I can. Okay, so thanks for listening and I hope you learned something. Bye bye.